Hi, welcome to the second to last episode of our show. It's still a live call-in show tonight. It's 312-738-1060 if you want to give us a buzz. Oscar has gone out of his way yet again. Our man Oscar. Oh yeah. Gone out of his way again to make us another sheet for our membership meeting. So, look at that. In color. Highlighted. Next meeting. December 19th, 2017, it says. Oh, Oscar, you're easy. Okay, it's December 19th, 2018. That is going to be our meeting at 7:30. It's every third Wednesday at the brewery, 3848 North Harlem Avenue. Come on out and see us. This meeting is our election. Vote for Oscar. Oscar offers you his protection, just like Pedro. So if you want to vote for somebody, you can write his name in, and if he gets write-ins, he wins. He'll be the president of Chicago A.B.A.T.E, which, that's nice. I'll come in. It's in their heads, Oscar. I'll come in. I work the phones. You come in. You do the show. Oscar does not want to be on the show. He says that the camera just makes him look too pretty, and women will be coming to the studio wanting autographs, so we will get Oscar on the show. Trust me. So, I was doing some surfing while we were waiting to start up, and I seen a video. It was kind of informative about the autonomous vehicles, which we're always talking about autonomous vehicles. We got Ski down in Springfield working his butt off, trying to make sure that they're not on the road sooner than they're supposed to be, even though they're going to be. And in some cases, they are. You know, in some states, they are on the road. So, if you see somebody not driving a car, that's wrong, because they're supposed to be a passenger, safety monitor, or whatever you want to call them. But I'm going to show you this video. It was pretty cool, and hopefully we get the good sound out of it. So please stand by.
The main argument for mass deployment of autonomous vehicles is the number of lives that could be saved. But how do you put a number on that? And the outcome is affected by so many variables. Some say that AVs must be nearly perfect before we deploy, because imperfect technology would cost lives. Others point out that human drivers are far from perfect, that over 30,000 people a year already die on America's roads, almost all due to human error. So we should get AVs on the road as soon as they drive better than we do. So which plan is safer? To find out, we have to project future road fatalities if AVs were never introduced. Next, we estimate how quickly developers can improve AVs after they've been introduced, and how quickly conventional vehicles get replaced. Now we can estimate the lives saved under two scenarios: nearly perfect AVs, and ones that are just better than the average driver. If nearly perfect AVs prevent 29,000 of 30,000 annual deaths, it's a no-brainer to put them on the road. But when does that happen? How long have you waited for them to be perfected? And how many people have died in the meantime? It turns out that introducing AVs when they are less than perfect, when they're merely better than the average human driver, may actually save more lives in the long run, because we're introducing them sooner. We're not waiting. As a result, they get safer, faster. Once they're on the road, developers would have more data to improve them than they do with their small test fleets. The technology improves more rapidly, more people replace their old cars sooner, and still more lives can be saved. In fact, under every combination of future adoption and performance conditions we examined, introducing AVs when they're less than perfect led to fewer cumulative road fatalities over a 30-year period. In some cases, saving hundreds of thousands of lives. While postponing the introduction of AVs until they're nearly perfect might seem safer in the short term, it could ultimately be the more dangerous choice. But are we really ready to let go of the steering wheel? We have to ask ourselves, what puts us at greater risk? Imperfect machines or imperfect human beings? And if we don't want the perfect to be the enemy of the good, we must consider the critical factor of time.
Okay, so that video, if you watched the bottom, it goes from now, or actually 2015, all the way to 2070. And I don't know if any of you have bought a computer lately, but if you bought a computer in the last 2 weeks, in about a month and a half, it's going to be outdated. They come up with technology so fast, it's just ridiculous anymore. I mean, if you think about it, look at this. You know what that is, okay? Before I had this, it was about half the size, okay? Little flip phone. I don't know if you remember the MicroTac or StarTAC, but the way cell phones just evolved. My first cell phone was a brick. It was a Sony, and my first cell phone cost $3,500. That's how much it cost. It wasn't the bag phone, because at the time they just all of a sudden started giving the bag phones away for free. If you went and listened to some spiel about taking a trip or buying a timeshare, here's a bag phone. Everybody thought, wow, I got me a phone. But you had to carry a bag phone with that big ass heavy battery over your shoulder. Okay? The reason I'm saying it is technology evolves so fast, it's just unbelievable at the rate it evolves. I'll do even one better. The digital watch. When I was young, I think I was about 15, 16 years old, we had a projectionist at the theater that I worked at. My uncle had the Commodore Theater. The projectionist paid, I think, $3,200 or whatever it was for a Pulsar. I think Pulsar had the first one. It was a gold watch, black face, red numbers. That's it. From there, it went to buying them in gumball machines for 25 cents, digital watches. Calculators, same thing. Hewlett-Packard cornered the market on calculators, high-end ones anyways. Then Casio came around and cut the price, and everybody and their mother was making them, and you can go to the dollar store and buy digital calculators right now. So again, technology, it does surpass everything we do. Like I said, if you bought a computer last week, in a couple months, it's already outdated. They're so ahead. Jump drives, those little jump drives, they used to come 2 megabytes. Everybody thought, wow, I got 2 megabytes on there, 4 megabytes. Not anymore, it's gigabytes. So keeping up with technology, do I think that before 2070, like the video was showing, that we could possibly be better and safer? I think so, but think about it. They got to have areas to test this technology. And do you want driverless cars on your street? I know I don't want them on my street. There's a lot of kids that play on my street. There's probably about 15 motorcycles between my side, the other side, and the next block forward and back of me. So do we want them on the streets coming through the alleys? No. They'll kill us. Anyways, that's my spiel about the autonomous vehicles tonight. Oscar's ready to take your calls. Just give him a call at 312-738-1060. Tell us what you think about those. The other thing was, we talked about that electric motorcycle. Electric motorcycle, it's going nowhere. A few years back, about maybe 6 or 8 years ago, they were trying to produce a diesel motorcycle. And I thought that would be a great idea. What's diesel? Self-lubricating, correct? I mean, you have to have oil in it. It'll be clicking like you wouldn't believe. You know, that real clackety sound. Sound like you're using bad gas in your car. But diesel motorcycles, I can see that happening. And they had prototypes. They weren't sport bikes. They were more like dirt bikes, military grade motorcycles. That would have been cool as hell to see. You know, especially one in production. The guys from Oscar, what's that motorcycle company in Chicago? They do all the Triumphs and Enfields, Chicago, Moto Chicago or something like that. I expect to see them getting a used one in or something, because I get updates for them all the time. And I think today I got one. They always got old Triumphs for sale, and one time I asked them how much mine was worth, and they wanted me to bring it down. Not for sale. Not for sale. I'm keeping it. That's mine. The other thing we have tonight is next week's show. If you were on the show, if you wanted to be on the show, if we talked about you on the show, if you called into the show. Oscar, man, let me tell you something. Oscar, he wrote up a lot of heavy stuff here. So I think he's got a lot of time on his hands. We're going to take care of that. When he's the president of Chicago A.B.A.T.E, he will not have all that time on his hands. We're going to teach him to do the website. Speaking of website, we got to do some updates on there. Oscar was pointing out to me tonight that it's not been updated. So Kevin, we're looking for you tonight. We might come by your house. We're going to take your bowl away from you. It's going to be over. What, was it wrong? Congrats. Danny went out and got himself the Jeep Call of Duty edition with all kinds of extras.
Awesome.
Good luck with that one. Beautiful Jeep, Danny, by the way. I can't wait to get in it and we go hill climbing. He's not going to do it. He takes too good of his cars. Too good a care of his cars. The elections, I don't believe anybody's running against anyone. I keep kidding around. I would like to see somebody else step up and, take the lead in the Chicago chapter. Oscar, we're grooming him. We really are grooming him, but I'll do it. I don't care. I just keep going. It's been 14, this will be 14 years, I think.
Around there, yeah.
It don't seem like it. Back when I was in my second term, I think 06 or 05 is when I ran, and things were kind of falling apart a little bit, so I said, you know what, I'll do it. Screw it, I'll do it. 2 years in, I had a real good friend of mine, Bose, Mike Kerr. He calls me up on the phone. He goes, hey, I know elections are coming up. He goes, I got to ask you. He goes, are you burnt out yet? And I said, burnt out? I said, it seems like yesterday, So I forget what year he died, but up to when he passed away, he would give me a call just before every election, go, you had enough yet? And I told him, no, I'll stay. I said, but this year, and this was the year he passed away, I said, I want to see you back on the board. I said, just do me a favor. I want you to be either the state board rep, which is the person that goes down and represents the chapter at the state board meetings, or even the alternate. I said, because I want to see their faces. I'll go down with you. I want to see when you walk in, the elder statesman walks in and says, what's going on here? Because at the time, he was the vice president of the MRF, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Oscar?
That's right.
Okay. So he said, yeah, he agreed, and we talked, and he got the Rich Neb Award that year, which is a big award that A.B.A.T.E gives you from the state. He got that. Unfortunately, I wrote the letter nominating him, and that weekend, I won something in a live auction that I shouldn't have won, and spent the next 2 days in my room with everything coming out of every hole in my body. It was just horrible, and I didn't get to see him receive the award. But he came to the next meeting and he just hugged me and didn't say anything, and that was one of the coolest things that ever happened with Mike Kerr. So Mike, we do miss you, and I'm not burnt out yet. I'm burnt, but I'm not burnt out, So I got a lot of, insulation to keep the burn away. That, and I believe this month is the state board meeting, so I don't know if John and Debbie are going down or if Rick's going down. We'll find out at the next meeting. When is the board meeting, Oscar? Do we know? The board meeting is before our regular meeting, so the 15th, I believe, somebody will be going down. I'll have to reach out. What they do is they go down there, and it should be the state elections that weekend too. So if you want to get involved in A.B.A.T.E, hit us up. Our state seminar is coming up. If you want to learn how to do any of the positions in A.B.A.T.E, let's see. I'm going to name off the positions that you can learn to do. You can be the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, secretary. We're not looking for a secretary. We got one for life. Treasurer, got one for life. Legislative director, webmaster, that's Kevin. State board rep, John Cuppin. Alternate state board rep, Rick Silva. Activities director, Andy Lago. Andy just lost his mom last weekend, so Andy, sorry to hear that from all of us here at Chicago A.B.A.T.E. We send our condolences, our love. We send some guys over to say hi to you. Unfortunately, I had to be in Evanston that day, but I love you. You know, you're like the big toe on a foot. We can't move without you, Andy. We love you. Public Relations, that's Dan Harper. Safety and Ed, Diane. Membership, Sandy. State Newsletter, Debbie. Chapter Newsletter, Thomas. And Products, Oscar, the man, Flores. That's him. That's our products guy. If you ever want to get products from us, come get them. Except these here, you have to buy everything else, but these, check it out. This is all the freebies. This is all the swag. This is the stuff that Oscar lives for. He wants to make sure you get some of this. So come on down, get some of this free stuff, pick up a shirt, pick up a hat, support the chapter. Moon, BOD is the 22nd. John's not home to confirm. You want me to stop by, baby? Is that what you're saying? You're telling me that your man's not home and you're home all alone. You and the dog. No, the dog jumps on people. Thanks, Deb. I always thought it was the third one, but you could be right. It could be the 22nd because of the way the month started, obviously. But like I said, if you want me to come by, I got some lotion and we'll make some motion. Oscar's shaking his head no. Moon, I love you, baby. You get well and you keep getting better. What were we doing here? Oh, so any of these positions I just mentioned, you can come down to the state seminar and you could go to a class, a breakout section, not a class, and they'll teach you what to do, how it works, and then you come to us and we'll teach you how to really do it and how to really make it work. Let's see. Who the F is Thomas? Oh, Thomas Cavello. Yeah, Thomas. Oh, do we want to say closer? No. It's Thomas. Yeah. Who the F? Who the F? Yeah. That's who it is. Hi, Thomas. Got me? So, should we just call him Magoo's brother?
Closer.
Wait, can we just call him Magoo's brother? Yeah. Our chapter newsletter is done by Magoo's brother. So.
Closer.
And this is our man on the street. Okay, I'm going to get a picture of Thomas up here, and then we'll show it next week. Some of this stuff is very easy. The real hard stuff, in my opinion, is the legislative director's job. Okay, you've got to be watching everything that comes up legislatively, talking with our state, you know, to see what's going on. Getting in touch. Ski's our state legislative coordinator, so keeping in touch with him is very important. The state board representative and the alternate, those are really hard because every 2 months, I believe, every other month, you got to be down in Springfield representing the chapter. Chicago chapter works like this. Other chapters, they go to the BOD meeting. It's called the BOD, Board of Directors. They go to the BOD meeting and it gets brought up. We want to start printing these, okay, and selling them or distributing them. So go back to your chapters and let us know what they think so we can take a vote. In the Chicago chapter, what happens is if the state legislative, the state board rep or the alternate can't make it down there, and we send Oscar. Oscar goes down there to represent the chapter. Oscar has the authority from the chapter to make the decision necessary at that time to vote on any subject. When they decided to disband the off-road committee, who really did nothing, they really didn't. They had telephone calls, and Miss Jones was the recorder on the other line. I believe it was, I think it was Rick down there for that meeting, and the vote came, oh no, it was Scott Dayton, that's who it was. Scott Dayton was down there to make the decision on what to do with the off-road committee, and they put it to a vote. He voted to disband it, okay? The motion passed, there's 50 chapters or what have you. And about 2 hours later, I'm getting phone calls saying, hey, why did Chicago vote to disband it? Because two of our former presidents of the chapter were on the committee. And I said straight out, I go, I don't think they did anything. So we didn't need it. I don't know if they had a budget and they used any money. I doubt it. But really, off-road committee, you're supposed to be doing off-road stuff and meeting for off-road stuff. So that was his decision. He came back, he goes, hey, I hope I didn't screw the chapter, blah, blah, blah. I go, no, you did the absolute right thing, the thing you were sent down there to do. You go down there, you vote. Now, if you did something wrong, you pay for it, you know. We don't give you a beating. We don't take your birthday away or nothing like that. You know, you messed up. Next time, do better. Okay? This is a volunteer organization, and a lot of people don't realize that. This is unpaid. Believe me, it's unpaid. And we put our own money into this thing. Andy Lago. I got to get a picture of Andy up here. Sorry, Oscar, I got to take your picture away. Much as I love you, here.
Okay.
This guy right here, I'm going to explain something to you, and this is no joke. Oscar can confirm it. Anybody can confirm it. That man right there puts more money out of his pocket, I think, than, well, not more than I do, but for the chapter, between me and the wife and him and this other guy right here, Dan Harper. Where is he? God, is he ugly. Oh, we got rid of him, I think. I got a little picture of Harper. We put out a lot of money for this chapter. We don't ask for nothing in return. We're not doing it for pay, but it keeps the chapter running. And every day, no joke, every day I do something for A.B.A.T.E. Oscar does something, whether he's sitting at his computer burning CDs, you know, or writing these and he uses a thick, beautiful paper too. Well, and he's not getting paid for this. None of us get paid for what we do with A.B.A.T.E. But in reality, we do get paid for what we do, because when we walk out and we get on our bikes, we can look and say, I don't think I'll wear a helmet today, you know? Or even on the stupidest end, and this is no joke, man, I'm glad there's no seatbelt on my bike. That was really proposed. Airbags. It was proposed that they put airbags on your bike. I guess they would pop off your gas tank and throw you off the bike. We thought, how ridiculous is something like that? We fought that, you know.
Lakeshore Drive.
That's right. Lakeshore Drive. No motorcycles were allowed on Lakeshore Drive. That's not a joke. Because we figured, you know what, let's go take a ride on Lakeshore Drive. We can do that because of the work that me and Oscar and Harper and Mike Jetner, Skip Robinson, Marvin Katz, Jeff King, Jim Viverito, George Gora to a lesser extent. I gotta say that because I love busting his, you know. All the guys that were here before us, Dave White, you know, the founder of Chicago A.B.A.T.E, and he helped get everything going in the state. These guys busted their asses to make sure that we got to where we are today. And every once in a while, you get one of the old timers, they'll come to the meeting and go, well, what would Dave White think? And what would Dave White do? And I just real seriously look and I go, they're dead. He's dead. I don't think he would think that we're doing anything wrong, because he did it the way he wanted to do it. We're doing it the way we want to do it. We keep this chapter going just for you guys. And I'm going to tell you something. We're not the biggest chapter in the state, even though we're in Chicago, and there's the most population is right here in the city. We're not the biggest chapter. Duquesne's got a lot of members. They're out west. South Suburban used to have a lot of members. I don't know what the numbers are, but next week I can get those numbers for you. All I got to do is make a phone call, press a button. Remember, beginning of the show? Technology. This is what keeps everything going anymore. Not me or Oscar, because one day there's going to be a robot selling products. There's going to be a robot running a meeting, and it's not going to be me. And I hope they make the robot, you know, a little slimmer. So tonight, I'm going to leave you with this. Keep an eye on all of this autonomous vehicle talk, If you see something, say something. Let us know. Send us an email. Let us know that you heard that they're doing this. Even rumors. We'll chase rumors and look at them and validate them or not. So tonight, have a nice night. We'll see you next week for our last show. Oh, by the way, Happy Hanukkah just passed.